Hi, I'm Eden.
And I am Kidus.
We will be reporting on a market failure that occurred in 2011.
And we will also report about the interventions made by the Ethiopian government to stabilize the market.
Hope you enjoy. In Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, a market failure occurred in 2011 as many goods such as sugar and cooking oil became scarce due to imposed price ceilings as a result of artificial shortages made by the suppliers. Sugar, cooking oil, and other items disappeared from store shelves in January 2011 after Ethiopia imposed price ceilings on 18 basic commodities. Shop owners rebelled. They complained that the ceilings were too low to allow them a fair profit and refused to sell at what they said was a loss. When price-controlled items became scarce, the government accused suppliers of creating artificial shortages. The late Prime Minister Meles Zenawi announced that the market had effectively failed. He said that the government would bypass retailers and sell directly to consumers until the business community accepted the lower prices. These price controls and government sales outlets are a temporary measure until the market stabilizes. But market economists and business people argue that any state interference in the buyer-seller relationship is ultimately counterproductive.
The government is becoming more and more predominant in the economy in recent years, more than even 10 years ago. The long-term solution is now working on the assumption that the government alone could bring about the balanced and rapid sustainable economic growth and development. The paradigm has been tried for many years and failed. The head of ministry says he sees great danger in the state's increasing tendency, when economic policies don't work, to demonize the private sector. When the first price control measures were announced, we started reading in the paper a very serious malignant hate campaign, letters, articles in the papers, and many have been engaged in widening the split between consumers and merchants or business people. The government will have to take the initiative to normalize things, because if the government does not, the differences will widen and the ultimate consequences could be serious, stated the head of ministry. Economists also question whether the price caps are helping to keep down rising costs. The government statistics agency reports an inflation rate of 14% in February, the first full month the caps were in effect. And when the controls are inevitably removed, experts say prices are bound to jump to where they would have been anyway. People waiting to purchase cooking oil and sugar this week wondered whether, given the rapid rise of global prices, Ethiopia might again see the day when local governments distribute food as they did in the communist era.
The government sets price ceilings in which prices for basic commodities could not go higher than the specific price. This ensures that middle to lower class citizens can afford basic food items. The price ceiling will lead to the equilibrium found at PQ to not exist anymore and to be replaced with QP and QD. The distance in between quantity supplied and quantity demanded shows that there is more demand than there is supply. Therefore, a shortage will occur.
As we look at this graph, first of all we need to talk about what a negative externality is. An externality is a situation where production or consumption of a good or service has an external impact on a third party. The artificial shortage caused by the producers imposes an external cost on society as a whole, for which the producers will not have to pay. Clearly, if the producers had to pay the full social cost of this production activity, the additional cost will shift the supply curve or private marginal cost curve to the left. Thus, the marginal social cost curve represents the social marginal cost, the vertical distance between the two supply curves indicating the value of the negative externality or the marginal external cost. The market equilibrium in the absence of the negative externality is PM and QM. However, the externality means that the optimum equilibrium for society would be PS and QS, where the marginal social benefit is equal to the marginal social cost. This means that the market will lead to a shortage,